Brentford jumped from 5th to top after their 3rd win in a row, which was never in doubt once pool keeper Martin Holland's save was returned with interest by Darren Freeman. By the half hour, Ron Node's men were 2-0 up and cruising. Andy Scott brought down by Darren Knowles. Veteran midfielder Warren Aspinall converted the spot kick. And Brentford's 10th goal in 3 league games came soon after the restart. Martin Rowlands allowed to run and run by a retreating defence before lashing the ball past Holland. It's now 5 games without a win for Hartlepool, but to their credit, they kept chasing this particular lost cause, and Tommy Miller grabbed a little consolation 7 minutes from time. Scunthorpe stays second after a great Exeter comeback, watched by Martin Dean.
Gale rather lost that one in the sun, the ball hitting him in the end. I think he knew where it was. Calvo Garcia, it's a good ball through, and that's the first goal of the afternoon, and it's scored by Jamie Forrester. Walker will possibly look to hit it long. No, he's played it short instead. Now John Eyre crossed in towards Hope. That's 2-0. Wilkinson. What a super goal. And Richardson getting it wide for Wilkinson. And it's gone in. Steve Black has got the equaliser.
Darlington slipped below Scunthorpe after coming unstuck at Millmore. It started well enough, just 7 minutes gone when Carl Shutt rose highest to head the visitors in front. But Rotherham were level midway through the half. Paul Dillon unmarked and unable to miss from that distance. After that, 2 spot kicks clinched the points for the home side. First, Paul Hurst was brought down. And Lee Glover sent keeper David Priest the wrong way. That was 3 minutes before the break. 3 minutes from full time, Danny Hudson was the man felled. And Glover's no-nonsense penalty technique gave him number 7 for the campaign and took Rotherham up to 4th. That's above Cardiff, who slipped up at Ninian Park. Here's Graham Lloyd.
Great ball through to Mustoe. Taylor's alongside him. The ball comes to Taylor. Great chance. He's brought down. It's a penalty. Mike Ford. John Taylor brought down by Mike Ford. He's sending off. He sent off Mike Ford. Can he get back on the goal sheet? No, he can't. Great save by John Hallworth. Taylor. Still Cambridge come forward. This is Taylor. An opportunity here for John Taylor, and he scored! Well, Ninian Park cannot believe it.
Another last-minute strike cost Halifax dear on Friday night. They look to be heading for top spot for a few hours at least, thanks to a 31st minute finish from Steve Guinan, who's on loan from Nottingham Forest. But 3 points became 1 at the death, when Lee Martin failed to cling on to Mark Arb's shot. Ken Charlery notched his 5th goal of the season, although perhaps the defender should have done better. Brighton boss Brian Horton described himself as baffled by this defeat, but on the park it was his defenders who seemed confused. All seemed well when Jamie Morley notched his 1st goal for the club in the first half. But before half-time, Mansfield were gifted an equaliser. Paul Sturgis's back pass got Glenn Thomas in a tangle, and Lee Peacock took full advantage. While Horton looked on in amazement, his opposite number Steve Parkin took decisive action. To describe his double substitution 20 minutes from time as inspired is rather an understatement. First, Darrell Clark put Mansfield in front. Then, as the Brighton defence hesitated again, super sub number 2, Eisden Christie, wrapped it up 3 minutes from time. A day to remember for lifelong Posh fan Ryan Hounsell, who was Peterborough's mascot on Saturday, despite being 30 years of age. He then watched from the stands, presumably with a bag of sweeties, as his heroes served up an impressive performance. The thrashing at Darlington a week before was forgotten, as David Farrell produced something special to put them ahead. And then the persistence of the division's leading scorer, Giuliano Grazioli, settled the outcome. Peterborough keeper Bart Grimmink even saved a Robbie Painter penalty in injury time. The division's meanest defence came a cropper at Gay Meadow, as Shrewsbury's revival continued. Their fourth game unbeaten and comfortably their best performance, sparked by Austin Berkeley's finish from Lee Steele's pass. That was only the 8th goal Argyle had conceded all season. Number 9 may give keeper John Sheffield a few nightmares. Kevin Seabury as surprised as anyone to see his shot trickle in. But 10 minutes later, Seabury had his own moment to forget when he turned substitute Earl Jean's shot into his own net. But Shrewsbury held on. Almost 4,000 at the Diva Stadium created a party atmosphere for what could have been Chester's last ever game. And most of them got what they wanted midway through the first half. John Murphy connecting with Luke Beckett's cross to put Chester ahead. Only for 6 minutes, though, before Ross Davidson's attempted clearance fell just right for Julian Alsop to fire the Welshman level. John Holland's side are now unbeaten in 7. Southend are finding life tough in Division 3 after relegation last term. It's now 5 games without a win, although they recovered well from going behind to a flowing Leyton Orient move, finished off by Alex Inglethorpe. That was after 12 minutes, and the home side weren't level until just after the break. David White, the provider. Adrian Clark, the emphatic finisher. After that, Southend were on top and took the lead thanks to 19-year-old substitute Trevor Fitzpatrick, who'd been on the pitch just 3 minutes when he ran onto Clark's pass and coolly beat keeper Chris Mackenzie. But that was cancelled out by former Southend youth team player Matt Lockwood. His corner somehow beat all the defenders and keeper Martin Margetson at the near post to give Orient a point. The same outcome at Playmore is described by Seth Conway.
Bedeau. Capitalised on Brightwell's poor defending. Has Herrera to the left. Here is Herrera, just had to wait for it. And his ball will come through to McGorry. Oh, it's a smashing goal from Brian McGorry. Clark in support. So tries to do the hard work, which he's done amazingly well. Can he find the pullback? He has! And there's the equalising goal from Steve Finney. Bowman. Header back in. And into the net. Oh, it's a sensational header. David Brightwell has headed Carlisle into a lead. Turn away from Finney. And a long ball through, headed away by Brightwell. Now McGorry to Bedeau. The neat turn inside. He might find the finish. He has done. Oh, it's a smashing goal again. This time from Tony Bedeau.
Finally, some good news for Hull City fans. After 7 straight defeats, they stopped the rot in the East Coast derby at the McCain Stadium. Neil Mann's first goal of the season put them ahead. But that was cancelled out 20 minutes later by Gareth Williams' cross and Jamie Hoyland's header. Mark Haitley has had a tough time since he took charge at Boothby Park, so it was fitting that he should score the goal that gave Hull their first away win since October the 21st last year.
Once again, the lead changes hands. Brentford are back on top. Scunthorpe stays second. Previous leaders Darlington dropped to third. They lost at Rotherham, who move above Cardiff City into fourth. Hull stay bottom, but their win and a win for Shrewsbury has tightened things up. Brighton and Scarborough both lost. They're level on 13 points. Barnet and Torquay just a point better off.